Hello again, everybody. It's Playboy's Ghost Channel. I'd like to welcome y'all back to the carport on what has become Reacquiring Mountain here in northwest Alabama. And I want to touch on a subject that's near and dear to me here lately. Shiner Bock a little early in the morning, but hey, that's a breakfast beer too. I'm sure somewhere in the fine print that says Shiner Bock Texas breakfast beer. So let's get down to it. If you'll notice, going back through some of my double action videos here lately, double action revolver videos, you might see a common theme where I have recovered, reacquired some guns that I had traded off and or sold that evidently I regretted letting go of. Done it again, y'all. To complement, you saw Return of the Red Hawk 44 Magnum. Got that one back a little while back. And you probably saw what boomeranged back to me for the third and final time, the 4-inch model 2910 Classic. Got that one back. Y'all, those were guns I didn't really want to let go of it bad to get what else I had, but I got them back. That's all that matters, y'all. I have done it again. This morning, I got back the 4-inch, 4.2-inch 629-6 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum that I had bought new in January of 2021. Trying to keep all this straight in my head, y'all. I've gone through a lot of guns. January of 2021, I got this gun new. I never fired it. I toted it probably 10, 11 months. Yeah, I knew it was going to go off and I wasn't going to be, defending myself at 100 yards, so I didn't care. And the only reason I let this gun go was because at the time I wanted this Red Hawk more, and I found that Red Hawk, jumped all over it, and I had to sell the 629 to pay for the Red Hawk. Well, as you can see, I now have them both. Now tell me what somebody might ask, I guess, better way of putting it. Why have two 4.2-inch, 4-inch, whatever, end frames? Aren't they, like redundancy, serving the same purpose? Yes. That gun is flat out beautiful, in my opinion. Y'all, that is classic, gorgeous at its core. But I'm not going to carry that as much because if you'll look real closely, you'll see there's not any blue and wear on it. And I will carry it. I have carried it. But I'm not going to carry it as much as I will a stainless gun. For all the little imperfections at the very worst, I might, if it won't polish out, we'll just polish in a rag. If I, put a little imperfection in the finish somehow, as long as it ain't no major, like trench, Grand Canyon that I'm digging in that son of a gun, and which of course I might have to use a little sandpaper for it. I'm not that rough on guns, y'all, but I won't worry about the finish on that. So I have reacquired yet another let's call them a 4-inch range, because historically that's what it was before, Canada helped their minimum 4.4¼ inch, whatever it was, started dictating what are the U.S. manufacturers put out for barrel lengths. So let's just call it a 4-inch class. Of course, now, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be wrong, I don't keep up with Canadian politics that much. Canada, I think, y'all can comment, correct me if you want to, because it's pretty easy to correct me sometimes. I think Canada has pretty much screwed their citizens out of their gun rights, so I don't know that it matters anymore what the barrel lengths are. I don't think we have to do it for Canada. There might be another country that Smith & Wesson, Ruger, export to, that it matters. Y'all, I'm still fighting the urge. I know that I have, I put up a video a while back about the, should I keep the 6-inch Anaconda or go for the 4.2-inch? I've still not fired the Anaconda. And by the way, that gun right there, I told y'all I didn't fire it while I owned it. The fella that owned it just up the road from me here in Tuscumbia, he never fired it either. I bought this gun brand new, sold it to him unfired. He never fired it. I got it back. So it's still a like new gun, if you can't call it a new gun anymore legally. But I went down there yesterday to my local gun dealer, my local enabler, and I handled a 4.2 inch Anaconda, and I'm here to tell y'all that I'm having a hard time with the idea of letting go of mine because I'm so deep into it. I bought my Anaconda before they were as plentiful, so I'm deep into that gun. And the only way I could trade for that new 4.4 inch would be to put a little money on top of it, so there I'd be even deeper in an Anaconda. But y'all, I'm here to tell you, handling between the 6 inch and the 4.25 inch Anaconda, there ain't no comparison. That 4.25 inch Anaconda, of course, is heavier than the 4 inch end frame, naturally, because it's just a bigger, overall bigger frame. You know, longer cylinder, wider cylinder, more meat under the barrel. The Anacondas are built like a freaking tank. They're built like a tank, like everybody says that a Ruger is, and Rugers are built like a tank. We all know that they're badass. But the Anacondas, I wish I'd brought that 6 inch out here now so I could be showing it to you too. The Anaconda's forged like the Smith & Wesson is, instead of being investment cast and heat treated. There ain't nothing wrong with the Ruger's heat treatment and investment casting. We all know that. But what I'm saying is, there is an overbuilt, in the Colt Anaconda, there is a heavily overbuilt forged gun. That's pretty awesome too. But that 4.25 inch Anaconda handles a lot more like this. The balance is a lot more like this, and a lot less nose heavy to the front. I would like to have one 144 Magnum with a longer barrel on it, so to have the full ballistics, the velocity, the energy that a 6+ inch barrel can, helps 44 Magnum achieve. But y'all, that is so tempting. If I had another gun that I would part with that would get me close enough, I would probably have a 4.25 inch Anaconda today without any hesitation. But I'm about down to where, like you see, I've reacquired these 3 guns. Over the last few years, I've owned before. One of them, in that Model 29-10 Classic, I've owned 3 times. So I have a problem with certain guns. There's certain guns I don't even remember owning, y'all, because they didn't really stand out. Maybe it seemed like something great, and I got it home, walked around with it, shot it maybe not. And it just ended up being like, okay, it's nice, but there's something else I want more. These 3 guns, I apparently wanted them because I jumped through, when I was making a deal for this, I had another deal going, a sale deal on another gun, and the dude contacted me, reconnected with me over this 629, and I didn't recognize who he was at first because I didn't scroll back through the Facebook message, history, back up through the thread. And then when I did, and he mentioned having my old 44 Magnum, I thought, well, you're going to have to be a little more specific, House, because there's a few of mine floating around that yonder. And when I realized what gun this was, and that the dude was getting up with me and offering me this gun back in cash, and he'd never shot it, well, let's just say that was after 9 o'clock last night, and it was hard for me to wait till 9 o'clock this morning to get it, to make the deal. So anyhow, studying on the 4.2 Anaconda still, that really could go either way. So what else can we talk about on a Shiner Bach morning? Let's see. I got nothing, y'all. I shared a little short with y'all not long back showing that I had cleaned up that road down into the property that we had bought. And where I intend to build my range, I think I've got probably between 50 and 75 yards pushed back, cut out right now, that, from where I figure that I will set a bench, and I'm going to cover the bench. I've got it figured where the sun's going to go over this way, and the bench is going to be, everything's going to be facing that way, and the cover and everything. I have it in the shade, naturally from the trees before 10 o'clock in the morning most of the year. and then up till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it'll start shading the whole thing, but I'm gonna build shade over it, something to turn water. I started to go down there today and do at least a showing you video and maybe pop around on something, but I really need to do a little bit more work down there before I get settled. I don't want to get the feeling that I'm done there when I'm nowhere near it. I don't want to get slow. If I hold off on doing what I want and showing y'all what I want to show you down there and giving you the content that I want to from that place, if I hold off until I've achieved more with it, I think I'll be motivated to get more achieved down there, if you know what I'm trying to say. So here's a long form video. It's been a long time coming, a long time overdue. I go through spells, and if you'll go back through my channel over the last 6+ years, you'll see that almost 7 years, I think September will be 7 years I've been doing gun videos. You'll see that I go through spells of motivation and not being so motivated. It's typically just at the end of spring, beginning of summer, when the weather turns hot and getting reacclimated to coming outside in 220% humidity, and then once I get used to it, we start churning out some more stuff. So here you go. Hope that was worth watching. I got 4-inch 44 magnums coming out the yin yang now. Y'all, I can't swear to you that I won't have another one in Colt form here soon. I don't know. Anyway, as always, I appreciate y'all watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell. I think there's some sort of notification bell somewhere down there, and y'all comment, argue if you want to. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right, it don't matter. I just appreciate y'all watching and taking the time to participate. And if today's my last video, it's been a fun ride, and I appreciate the heck out of y'all. Talk to you later.